Is causing some problems. I've noticed some scratches appearing in my glass, and it is now time to take the gravel out and maybe go with some sand. I was a little concerned about switching over to sand because of my filters. I was a little concerned that, sand would get into the filter and, wear down the propeller prematurely, and then I'd have to spend money repairing that. But I'd rather replace some propellers than deal with the sand with the scratch problem. So I'm taking the gravel out. And obviously, I am not emptying the tank. I scooped all the gravel out while the fish were in there. And I'll do a quick gravel vac, make sure that the bottom is clear before I start cleaning my sand. And I'm even going to put my sand in while the fish are in there. I know, risky business. But these guys look fine. They don't seem to be bothered by what I'm doing. They are kind of, gathering around the driftwood that's in there. But I got everything out without a problem. And at this point, I'm just going to clean the bottom. Speaking of the sand, this is really nuts. I've been trying to clean this sand. I'm going this route now with filling this up, and I'm going to see if I'll, let it overflow for a little while and stir it up and see if I can get it to clean. I tried the method that is listed on the bag. I've got the sunset gold. I like that color. It looks great. My cat is kind of watching me here and wondering what's going on. But I tried the method on the bag where you cut the two corners and you put the holes in one side and it's supposed to overflow out the other side and clean the sand. Don't do it. Or somebody show me a video where it works, because I couldn't get it to work and I was losing more sand than dust. Actual sand was coming out. So I'm going the old tried and true method. I'm using, instead of a bucket, something a little longer and wider, hoping that more surface area will help. But I don't know. Now, cleaning the sand was absolutely frustrating. It took a lot of cleaning to get the sand as clean as I needed it to be. I've obviously put the sand in the tank and things are looking a lot better. This is just the next day. It hasn't even been 24 hours yet, and I'm thinking it's looking really clear. I'm loving the look of the sand. I'm loving the look of the fish with the light color. It's so incredible how different substrates affect fish colorization. It's absolutely beautiful. So if you ever want to see your fish change up their colors a little bit, obviously one of the best things you can do is change the substrate to either light or dark, and you'll see some different colors start to manifest in your fish. And I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I don't have the light on right now because it is daytime and I've got my lights kind of on a timer, and I like how tanks look in natural light. I don't care how good your light is, there's just nothing as good as natural sunlight when it hits a fish for their colors. I mean, they look absolutely stunning in natural sunlight. So I've also added some blue acaras to the tank that were not there before. I had about 5 blue acaras that were of decent size in another tank, in a 75-gallon tank. So I moved them into this tank for a splash of color just to see how they would go with the other guys that are in here. And I'm always changing my fish around. And I also added an angel that was down there, kind of solo dolo, but I figured I'd add him anyway. He could join the party. But they're looking really good. As I said before, the sunset gold was the type of sand I went for. I really enjoy the granial size of the sunset gold. It's not as fine as other sand, so It's not picked up as easily by my filters or water movement. As you can see, I have quite a bit of water agitation at the surface, and my guys love to, swim around, and some of them have some size to them, and they can kick some things up. They used to kick the gravel up, so I'm imagining they're going to kick some of the sand up as well. So I wanted something that would fall back down to the bottom of the tank rather quickly and not just be in the water column floating around and getting sucked into my filters. I was already a little nervous about that as it is, but right now I really am enjoying the look of it. I will probably be changing out a few things and maybe even changing some of the fish. The other thing that I'm really enjoying is not, or that I'm not enjoying, is the fact that I have more sand to clean. I cleaned a couple of bags just to get started, but I want the substrate a lot deeper. So it means I'm going to have to spend some time cleaning more sand. And that is not something I'm looking forward to. Not at all. Because this sand is supposed to be kind of pre cleaned as it's written on, as Carib C writes on the bag, but I don't think so. Doesn't look that great to me. Doesn't look that clean to me when I put it in there. I mean, oh man, I've used substrate from pets from the non-specialty pet stores, and it's been cleaner than the Carib Sea, which I thought because it was a major brand name would be cleaner, but it is what it is. It's part of the hobby, and if you want sand, you just got to realize you're gonna have to do some work. So here's another angle. Looking at those blue Acara, they look really good. I think I have all males. There's no breeding going on in the tank. They didn't breed in the tank downstairs, and they're nice and healthy, and they're very active. They're good eaters, but there's no breeding going on. So I think I have all males. I do have a few more blue Acara that are in another tank that I may be adding to this tank to see if I can get a pair so that I can pull that pair out and maybe put them in another tank and see if I can get some breeding. But that red tiger severum is looking stunning in this light. Even the green severum's looking pretty good. He's lightened up. He's usually really dark, like almost black, but with the light substrate, it really lightened him up a little bit. So I'm liking that. I'm hoping that that effect continues and that he stays lightened and does not fall back to the dark look that he had. Even though I do have a dark background, I'm hoping that the light substrate will continue to allow him to stay lightened up and not go back as dark as he was. I mean, those blue car are really almost glowing with the sunlight. Now that red tiger serum has grown incredibly fast. I got two of them at the same time, and one is in a 75 gallon, and he is not growing quite as fast as this fish, and this fish is just growing. So I honestly do believe the bigger the tank, the faster the growth rate. I would have them both in this tank, except that red tiger serum. Oh man, look at those colors. I know, I get distracted. That red tiger severum does not get along with the other red tiger severum, but I do have plans to try it once again. I'm also using the Akara kind of like dither fish. Um, with all the activity, I'm hoping that they can distract each other a little bit. I do plan on adding some more plants to help break up lines of sight even better. And, I'm finding that the more hiding places there are and the more stuff in the tank, the better it is for the aggression. The chocolate cichlid is also lightened up. A lot of green showing in him, and some purples and browns. So he's looking really good. Like I said before, lighten up the substrate, and your fish will follow suit. So that's pretty cool. At some point in time, I may even switch sand out. And I think once you get sand pretty clean, I'm hoping that it's not so hard to take it out and put it back in, and that you never have to clean it the same way that you had to clean it when you bought it, because I wouldn't mind from time to time changing out the substrate. Maybe once every year or two. But that's me. I don't mind doing that type of stuff and changing stuff around. I like the change out. I like how it impacts and affects the fish. And depending on what fish you're keeping, I do have some viejas that I'm growing up that I plan on putting in this tank or a larger tank. Like I said, the biggest problem with this tank is the fact that there are now scratches that came from the gravel getting trapped between the sponge. Ah, he looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off and enjoy the tank a little bit more. Don't be afraid to subscribe. Catch you later. Be strong.